This is actually a pretty common issue that entrepreneurs come across. In situations like renting an apartment or even getting a loan for a car, usually they'll ask you to submit your tax documents. Tax documents is the best way they can verify what your actual income is.
Welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is showing proof of income, and in what ways can you show proof of income when you're self-employed. And we are going to go ahead and get right into it, and I will be back with my commentary.
Even though you're self-employed, man, I did manage to get you approved. The bank just wanted your tax return just to prove that 10 grand a month.
Oh, my tax returns, you said?
Yeah, just, whatever you filed last year, your taxes, they just wanted us to fax it over to them just to prove, since you're self-employed, it's a little riskier than being like a W-2 employee. So they just wanted proof that you actually are making the money you claim. Your credit's great. Just your business hasn't been open super long and you just started. So they just need proof from last year's tax return that you make 10 grand a month.
Well, I deal with a lot of cash, and I kind of made it look like I didn't make a lot of money this year. So I actually filed for a loss.
Ooh, so you technically on paper didn't make any money.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely made a lot of money. Like, I made a lot of money this year, but my tax return just doesn't show that because of the tax. You know how that goes.
No,
right?
I completely understand, man. I'm just a W-2 employee, but I understand why you would do that. But when it comes time to get a loan, you do need to show on your taxes that you made money, because then you have purchasing power, borrowing power, because the banks go off really your tax returns, especially when you're a business. So there's really not much I can do. I mean, my advice to you would be bite the bullet, pay the taxes, or pay yourself as a W-2 employee. I mean, I'm not a business owner. I'm not an accountant. I'm not telling you how to run your business. But when it comes time to get a loan, you really do need to pay taxes, because that's one of the few ways you can actually get a loan like this, because that's how the banks go.
So what you're telling me is you can't help me, and I don't have enough to pay cash for this, but, like, you can't help me at all?
I really can't, man. Unless you had a really good cosigner, that's the only way I can help you. When you're self-employed, it's a little trickier to get you approved. And when you're saying, on paper you make no money, I can't prove to the bank that you made any money, and they don't care how much cash you have and you're safe at home. They want to see that earned income shown in the bank. So there's not really much I can do, man. I'm sorry.
All right, well, I appreciate your time. I'm head out.
All right. See you next year.
Well, people don't think about this until it's time to buy. I'm in the process of buying, and I am a 1099 employee. Yes, I know one of my lashes are missing. Okay, no, for real. I'm a 1099 employee, and I'm fucking single. So my realtor is pretty much telling me that I need to be in a certain ballpark when it comes to my income to buy a house. So your net income got to be hella high, and you pretty much cannot write off a lot of things on taxes. AKA, I'm about to owe the IRS crazy amount just so I can buy a house. But I feel like 1099 employees or entrepreneurs don't think about that until it's time to buy. But then at that point, it'd be too late because you didn't already filed your taxes, because you need 2 years of self-employed income to purchase a house. So that moment when people be like, all right, I'm ready to buy it and saved up and then did this, but y'all not thinking about taxes. You have to be mindful, if you're a 1099 employee, as you file your taxes until you purchase, you have to be mindful of your net income. You cannot deduct a lot of stuff off your taxes. I'm trying to give y'all a heads up now before you get to that point and you want to file taxes. You want to purchase a house and you wasn't thinking about your taxes.
Another thing that you're going to need is proof of income. How will you pay this vehicle if you cannot prove your income? I can use 2 different types of proof of income: self-employment, or if you're a W-2 employee where your taxes get taken out. The difference between self-employed and a W-2, a self-employed person like myself, we pay ourselves. You pay yourself by a check, or you deposit all your money into a bank. That is going to be the most helpful, is when you are self-employed and you can show consistency of your income coming into your bank account. I see so many times where people are using Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, which is fine, but none of those really have a bank statement tied to them. So it's better if you actually deposit all that money into your account. Maybe you get paid cash. I know it's hard, but it's a discipline that you need to do, especially if you're trying to get finance for a home or a vehicle. Anything that's going to tie you to a loan, you're going to need to prove that income somehow. Because what they're going to do is they're going to look at your ending balances, and they're going to look at how much you deposit. They're going to take your deposits, by 3, and then they're going to divide it. So they're going to get the average of the 3, and that's how they're going to determine what your actual income is.
If you need proof of income for housing, here's what you can do. Stop and save the video. I'm going to give it to you step by step. Entrepreneurs, if you've been in business for less than a year, but you're already making significant income, proving your income and earnings for a housing application can be tricky. Here's a solution. Pay yourself as a W-2 employee. When you're self-employed, lenders and landlords might be hesitant because they think your income is inconsistent. But paying yourself as an employee creates clear, verifiable income that can qualify you for housing. Here's how you do it. You set up payroll with a company like ADP, QuickBooks, or Gusto. Determine your salary, make it reasonable and consistent based off of your income. Don't forget, as an employee, your business will withhold taxes from your paycheck. And make sure you save your pay stubs so you can use them for proof of income. If you like more content like this, please comment and share the post. I'll see you soon.
Okay, so just to answer her question, so you don't get paid in checks, you get paid in cash. A good way to show proof of income is if you print out your bank statements and it shows the cash. Obviously, your bank statement should say where you're receiving that money from. Or you can also have you also want to have this from your employer. Have your employer do a letter like this, and this can show proof of your monthly income because that's what WIC is asking you for. Or when you're applying for other things, I can show y'all a more clear one in another video or a picture that I can post later. But yes, those are the 2 ways that you can show proof of income whenever you don't get paid in checks, but you get paid in cash. If you have any more questions and want more tips, I can always answer y'all. Thank you.
What's up, family? So sometimes when you're trying to get approved for the car, a finance company may need proof of income. So I'm gonna tell you some things you can use as proof of income, and I'm gonna also tell you a couple of professions that may have a hard time proving their income. So some things that you can use, of course, your check stub, W-2, depending on what time of the month it is, and then of course your contract letter. So if you teacher, principal, if you work in a job where they have put you on a complete yearly salary, you can use that contract letter to say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. will be making $120,000 per year at this particular job. Boom. That's pretty simple. That's pretty easy. So some jobs, some professions that may be hard to prove the income may be someone like a bartender, a waitress, a server, a barber, a beautician. We down here in the South, so of course we got a lot of construction workers, painters, things of that nature, that they may get paid cash by the day or may get paid cash every other day. So it may be hard for them to prove their income. Also, scrippers. Someone that do, online work to do certain type of jobs to get paid. Typically, if you get a cash app every week, if you get a cash app every single day or something like that, some finance company may take that. But if it's not consistent, then of course that may throw a little hiccup in approval. So just wanted to clarify that, because sometimes be having people in the comments be like, proof of income, what if I do this job, what if I don't do this job, whatever, would they take that? So there's just some stuff there. Follow your boy. If I left something out, drop it in the comments. Peace, love, and soul. I'm gone.
Hey you all, so today is Friday. Finally, I'm coming to give you a quick tip on how to prove your employment or your self-employment for all my entrepreneurs and self-employed bosses. Okay, just make sure you put your money in a bank account so that we'll be able to get your statements and you won't have to use fake check stubs and stuff like that. We're not knocking it, baby. Do what you got to do to get by. That's fine. And if you don't like bank accounts, put it in, pull it back out, just so it will be recorded that you actually made that money. You can say all day, I got the money, I can pay for it, I make the money. But if we don't see it on black and white, baby, it don't mean nothing. Boo boo. Now talk your shit in them comments. I'll be seeing y'all little bitches in there trying to get smart. I don't get no fucks. I ain't finna argue with y'all through no videos. Bitch, it's Friday. Did that direct deposit hit or not?
So if you're applying to an apartment and you don't get the typical W-2, earn wages, salary, tips, etc., this video is for you. Welcome to another episode of Things to Know Before You Rent That Apartment Home. There are a few things you can do and they vary from property to property. So I'll just tell you what I tell my clients. Bank statements. You can always provide a bank statement. At my property, we would require 4 consecutive bank statements. Sometimes it doesn't even need to go that far. It's just that my property also has an income requirement. So if we're going to utilize bank statements, the math will go a little bit like this. You'll take the cost of rent, multiply that by the income requirement, and multiply that by the length of your lease. That number will be the minimum ending bank statement amount. There's also a guarantor option. This is why I also encourage to know the policy as well. Some properties might just ask you for a higher deposit. You just want to see and verify that you're able to make the money. Follow for more tips.
Is there any way to get past proof of income? So I'd be lying if I was gonna say that there's an exact method to get around proof of income, but if you have like a 730 plus score with some pretty good history and you have some good money down, 9 times out of 10, the bank won't ask you for proof of income. Let's say you go to the dealership and you're shopping one specific car, a bank gives you a really good rate, but they require proof of income. Have that dealership submit you to different lenders just to see if one of the banks will pick you up without it.
Here's 3 ways you can do that. Number 1 is your bank statement. Could be business, personal, or both. Your bank statement not only show how much you make, but how frequently you make it, so they'll be able to see that your income is stable. And make sure you're depositing your cash. Even if you put it in and take it right back out, you'll still have proof in a paper trail that you earned it. Number 2 is a tax form called 1099-K. This form is given to you by your credit card processor. So for me, that's Square, but it could be like business PayPal, Etsy, Venmo, stuff like that. The 1099-K shows the total dollar amount of transactions that they've done for you that year. Only thing is it doesn't report your cash or transactions from other apps, so make sure you're keeping your sales organized. I use Square for that. I put every single transaction in Square, whether it's a credit card or not. And number 3 is your tax return transcript. Basically, after you file your taxes, you log into your account at the IRS website and just print out the form. When I have to prove my income, I do all 3, and then I also print out some reports from Square. People like those because they have like lines and like graph charts and all this other official looking stuff. So I make sure I also include a couple reports from there. There are other ways to prove your income, but those are my 3 favorites.
I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I wanted to elaborate on the first video, I believe it was, where he said you can use your tax return, which I was waiting on somebody to say that that was an option, because when you look up on everywhere else, they say pay stubs, bank accounts, things like that, but that's just your gross income. The reason why a tax return is important is because it's going to show your income after you deduct all those expenses, that net. The dealership, or if you're buying a home, is more likely to take your tax return because now they know how much you're making after expenses, as opposed to, sorry, I hope I'm not yet, as opposed to going by your bank account. Because, to elaborate a little bit more, yeah, your bank account's going to show all your gross income, which is all the income you've made for the year. But what about after expenses? You know, your net income. You want to make sure to be prepared, because these dealerships will give you the runaround, okay? Other forms of proof. A lot of people don't mention this. Your 1099. And once you get a 1099, that's proof right there, you know. Okay, just to recap. So, the ways that you can show proof of income when you're buying a home, car, etc. is annual tax return, 1099, profit and loss statement, of course bank statements, and pay stubs. If any of these tax situations apply to you, I am available for one-on-one tax strategy sessions. My email is linked below. You can email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I love when, you know, people take their business seriously, so that, you know, you're not wasting your time. So when you email me, you know, definitely let me know what it is that, how you would like to grow your business, your content creating business. And we will schedule a one-on-one consultation from there. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the month, and thank you for watching.